Okay, hello everyone. Again, thank you for being here. It's lunchtime. I really appreciate that. Let's start with a question. And how many of you heard Volt? Okay, that's quite a lot. Very good. And how many of you heard Volt is using Flutter? And that's really good as well because this shows that I'm doing my job well. Because Flutter Competence Lead is also about making sure that we are visible, we are doing Flutter. I'm Cagatay, and this is Dash. You know Dash, of course, Dart's mascot. And then we have Yuho. It's Volt's mascot. Very cute. And you will see a lot of Yuho art in my next slides. It's a little reindeer with Nordic roots because Volt is founded in Helsinki. It doesn't have a gender. Yuho is a Finnish name and Japanese girl name, so a perfect choice. Volt is a leading commerce platform. We connect people looking to order food for almost everything with people interested in selling and delivering. If you come from the US, do you know DoorDash? Okay, it's not known in Europe. And in States, they don't know Volt, so it's a bit weird combination. So DoorDash is really big in States, and it's our parent company. And we are active in 27 countries, more than 500 cities. We have more than 150,000 merchant partners. This number is important because these merchants are using the Flutter app. And we bet on Flutter. It is in our tier 0, like a most critical part of our operations. And we have an ambitious goal. We want to make the best merchant app in the world with Flutter. And today's agenda, competence lead role has 3 main responsibilities in hiring, external visibility, and internal community building in the company. And I will share my experience of more than 1 year of my experience in this role. Different companies have different names probably for this. Anybody knows about this role, heard this role before, competence lead role? Okay, 1, 2. But when I talk about it, probably you will see maybe in your company it has a different name. And this is the official definition in our company. Competence leads help us grow in the right ways and drive us towards stable, efficient, and modern engineering. Their chosen weapons are tech recruiting, active knowledge sharing, and codifying best practices. They are at the forefront of how engineers should be hired and how things should be built in their technological ownership area. Okay, this is the slide that I like most because there are many ways which you can make an impact as a competence lead, and the company cannot clone the competence lead. There is one in that area, but you can maximize the impact by internal influencing and making sure that the rest of the developers are at the front line with you. This is the official definition again in our competence page. So it's part of their teams, and we do our daily job, and 1 day a week we work as a competence lead, and the 4 days we are doing like development and other things. And there is an extra compensation for this role, some percentage of some current salary. And it's a unique opportunity, and it rotates yearly. So you are selected in 1 year, and the next year there is another selection. You can be, again, the competence lead, but there is also a chance for other developers to be the competence lead. So, state of competence meetings. This is really important because it brings visibility and transparency to the work that we do. It's once per quarter, and we have a meeting with team lead of the competence lead and the lead of the competence leads and relevant staff engineer, principal engineer, and other engineering leaders. Earlier, it was like when Volt was small, we also were meeting with CTO. So it's really important because I get super excited for these meetings because we talk about the main activities, achievements, and obstacles, and we get feedback about the work and also the guidance. So it's a great opportunity. Like as a developer, you build your stuff, but also do this kind of work. But every quarter when you report, you see the big picture. Imagine the scale, like more than 27 countries operating with a huge brand like DoorDash. So like seeing the big picture, how you can improve. That's really important meeting. And the competence lead role actually is a role before the staff engineer role, and it's a path. So it's not a guarantee that you're gonna be a staff engineer, but like you need to be a senior to be in this role. But what you learn here, how you perform, can make you a staff engineer in this role too. Let's start with the first one, the hiring. So competence leads are expected to work very closely with the talent acquisition team. And particularly, you have one talent acquisition partner, and the competence leads owns only the take-home assignment and the technical interview process. Let's start with the hiring principles. We keep the bar high. What does this mean? So we aim to do things that better than most, but it doesn't mean that we have the toughest, hardest recruitment process. But one covers the needs of us, and also we really want to make it like in a relaxed environment for the candidate. And we don't settle when paying. Sorry, we don't settle like we need to hire because we really need someone. And if you think like, okay, this candidate is okay, we need a person, it's really not the right approach. Because when hiring, you're always in pain. So we don't really settle with the pain. But this also doesn't mean that like we wouldn't hire for potential. So if there are candidates that they can do and grow, so it's also possible. And culture matters. Like there's really not much to say about this. Like really not bad personalities are not welcome as well. And we look for the values. We really make sure that the candidate fits for the company culture. And hiring is a first-class citizen. What does this mean? Because like hiring never ends, and we need developers helping us to hire. So there are excuses like I'm very busy, I need to do my tasks. But no, we really prioritize hiring. Tasks can wait, and hiring should continue. Let's talk about the process, and then we will come to how competence leads help here. So it starts with the application check, and the recruiters calls the candidates. So in this call, usually like selling Volt, getting an idea of what the candidate is interested in. Also light verification of the skills. Also some questions like when the candidate can start relocation and so on. After that, recruiter makes a decision to continue. And then there is this hiring manager interview. It's the first formal round. It's a mix of sales, like 60% of sales of Volt, and also 40% of verification that the candidate fits, and also getting to know each other. Usually done by team leads, very conversational, friendly atmosphere. An initial check for the team company culture match. And we don't have a really technical part here, because the technical part comes with the assignment. So after the hiring manager interview, if we continue, we have an assignment, take-home assignment. When the candidate delivers this assignment, 2 developers from the same competence review this assignment. And then if the assignment is promising, there is a good match, then we continue with the technical interview. In the technical interview, we will come to that, but really also relaxed environment. Then after that, we have the debrief. Everyone involved in the process, like these interviewers, talk about the candidate, and then we invite to the final interview done by the engineering director. So the assignment, let's talk about it. The expected level is not, it's really not like the perfection, but solving the problem. So we don't expect the candidate to rush, but do a work quality PR, because during the interview, it will be like a PR review. And this assignment helps us to go deep into the candidate's abilities. It is a balance between complexity and simplicity, because if you make it complex, then the candidates will be like and burned out, tired. We don't really want to make people busy. But at the same time, it shouldn't be really simple, because we need to understand the capabilities and competence. Then it's again reviewed by the 2 people who will be interviewing. But the role of the competence lead here, we own the take-home assignment, what it should look like, and how we start from the take-home assignment, and what we are going to do in the interview. So we think about this, we plan this. And we make sure that we have enough reviewers in our interview pool because, like we will talk in the next slides, it takes time. We need people who can help us. And we also onboard new interviewers. There is enough materials and guidance. And also making sure that the hiring by is aligned. And it is not dependent on who is interviewing. It is clear, repeatable evaluation system. And how we do this? We have a streamlined tech interview. This is from our competence page. So we document things. We have seniority evaluation framework to understand the seniority level of the candidate. And we have a scorecard, how we are reviewing the assignment, also interview questions around the assignment, and how we are going to plan the interview, who is going to ask what question, and then we have the post-interview scorecard. And these are all documented with a clear guidance. But I would like to say that these are really not the best, so we are always in touch with our talent acquisition partners, always improving, learning, yeah. Let's start with the seniority evaluation framework. This is independent from the competence area. It's a tool for assessing the seniority. It should be objective and repeatable. So it helps us to identify, okay, there is this role. It is mid, junior, senior. What is the role? And how we can find out what is the competence of the candidate and how does it fit which role. So the important thing is that it is like for every competence area, and it is the well-known terminology, and so that when we are writing reviews, when we are debriefing, it helps us to talk about the same thing in the same domain. And this is, for example, our tech interview scorecard. So writing reviews really takes time, and we would like to give enough attention in the most efficient way. It takes time, and we need to speed up the process, optimize it, and we have a checklist. This helps the reviewers to reason and formulate the evaluation. And as I said, it is not written to the stone. We are always evolving this. And then we have this tool, internal tool for reporting, Smart Recruiters. And the notes taken during the interview are given here, because when debriefing, we need to prepare for the debriefing and see how other people experienced with the candidate. So it's a central place. Okay, what is in tech round? Of course, friendly, warm-up, and introduction. So we really want to start with a friendly environment because we work in a friendly workplace. And we see the self-reflection of the candidate, the technical decisions, and we also would like to see the questions, what kind of questions the candidate has. And based on the assignments, we also review our questions, like should we ask this way, why the candidate this direction. And in the end, we are also seeing what the candidate is looking for and what kind of questions have about how we are working, ways of working. And what is not in tech round, we don't have traps. We don't really want to make it difficult for the candidates. We don't have trivial questions, and we don't have live coding. Live coding is not for everyone, not for me. I would probably fail, and I'm sure the company wouldn't want to miss me just because I don't want to do live coding. There is no strict deadlines. Of course, there are some days, but it's really relaxed, but it's about the candidate. So the faster, or not, okay, there's a balance. So, but we should also understand that there are people in the pipeline, so the sooner, better, probably. But of course, arrogance, there is no place for arrogance, and it is not an interrogation. And tech interviewing takes time. I said this before, because it takes a lot of time from me, from other competencies. Flutter is more relaxed, but we have web competence, Python competence. Oh my God, like really, very difficult. And great developer is not always a great interviewer. It requires practice. And we know that the candidate spends a lot of time on assignments, and we should respect that. And I personally really spend a lot of time at least to give feedback if we are not even continuing. So we have preparing for the interview by reviewing the assignments. We are writing a detailed feedback. And then we have 90 minutes of interview. After the interview, we write notes. And then we have proper debrief. So it is at least 3 hours and probably more. These are the tips that we give to our interviewers in the pool. The interview should resemble the actual work the person will be doing, as I said, around the assignment, like a PR discussion. And everyone will do the assignment. No shortcuts for friends and rock stars. And the experience stays the same. No matter who is interviewing, we are really working hard to streamline the evaluation, objective and repeatable manner. We don't read each other's comments before we write review, not to be biased. And also, to know the difference between the candidates, you need to have you need to ask the same question so you compare the answers. And this is not from my experience. So we have this assignment, and we know many times, like in Flutter, we see clean architecture everywhere. It's not bad, not necessarily, but also like we see like MVVM repository. But we really want to understand the candidates. Do they really know about these things? So they probably know about MVVM, but when we see like there is this violation, what do you think about it? How you can fix this? So it's a really good area to discuss. And measuring analytical thinking is really important, and the best way of doing this is seeing how the candidate did state management. It's really fun. But at the same time, like sometimes we see candidates building their own state management. This shows good analytical thinking, and some candidates use block. We need to ask, like, why are you using block? Why you are not using this? So it is a very good place to measure it. And there are some candidates doing really amazing assignments, but this takes time to go beyond the requirements. But at the same time, we need to make sure that the essential is there. So like there are really cool features, really good UI, but really in our assignments, in technical interviews, Flutter takes really like 15 minutes or maybe a bit around that. So we really look for software engineers. We're not looking for Flutter engineers. So essentials in terms of architecture, in terms of like knowing what you are doing, why you are doing is important, more important than going beyond the requirements. It's always good if you go beyond the requirements, but important to also see the essential is there. And also sometimes we see like, this is not a real app, that's why I didn't do it. I believe there should be a balance in this, because we really want to have this technical round in like how we would work you together. So even if you take this shortcut, it would be nice to add a comment. I did this shortcut in a real app, I would do this. And also avoiding unconscious bias. We take special training for this. This is the most important part, avoiding unconscious bias. I mean, I can talk about it for one session. Okay, most important thing, unit tests. When I review an assignment, I see the unit test, yeah, let's continue. Then I see the widget tests, wow. Okay, if there is integration test, then yeah, there is not much, but we had one, and I will never forget that. Okay, by writing tests, you not only show your interest in quality, but also prove that your code is testable. It's not only like, hey, I write tests. So yeah, if it is testable, then you write a good code. Like there's dependency injection and you mock them everything, you know the basics. And sometimes we have candidates from startups. They're like, well, we don't write tests in our current job. It's okay, understandable, but you can do really well saying this. We don't do tests in our startup because it's a small company, we need to move fast, really reasonable. But what if you try to do it, although you didn't have it? So you can show that you can adapt and care about the quality. An assignment with or without test has really big impact because sometimes we give feedback, we write like tens of things, 10 things, and the first thing starts with like, there is no assignment, there is no test in the assignment. It's really having the highest weight on the decision. So like, sometimes we see like, but this is really small reason, but there is no test. So if you don't have tests, it's okay, but you need to really show more things then. External activities, this was the hiring part. Let's continue the second part. I don't know how long has it been already. Am I already out of time? I don't know. Okay, the role of competence lead in the external. So we are the promoter of our engineering craft. What we do, sharing blog posts, organizing meetups, giving talks at conferences like now, and driving open source initiatives. And also we encourage the people in our competence community to follow us, to join us. We have been organizing meetups and also joining the meetups. It's a really great opportunity to connect with the local community. We made, for example, with Flutter Berlin here, they were organizing and we made their first event in our place. It was really amazing. We really helped them to grow in Berlin as well. And also, we are showing the candidates like the office and they meet with the team. And we have conferences. So it's really great chance to talk with the experts because we saw really similar problems like mobile app development. We are doing the same thing. We are solving the same problems. Let's discuss. And public speaking experience, storytelling improves it. Really, like last year, 1 year ago, I was in this stage, in this room. I feel much better. Maybe in the beginning I was a bit, but I feel better now. And networking helps in hiring, promoting our open source projects. Like we were in Stockholm, Berlin, online conferences. You see here, we had this Volt logo, because companies, they are not really spending much investment in conferences to sponsor. If the consultancy is an exception, but product companies usually don't. There are many reasons for that, but I really tried hard last year, for example, to host a speakers party at Volt, and Mikhail, who is here, he joined us. You see the Volt t-shirt here, we were targeting Mikhail, and then you see the picture here, he was targeting us, maybe, we don't know. But I got this feedback from our brand manager, like, thank you. I was hesitant in the beginning because it's an investment, but it worked. We got a Flutter hire, he's an amazing developer. And he says, how much time do I have? Okay, snowball effect. Snowball means like something small gets bigger. Now I'm going to faster, so. Okay, I'm the competence lead. There are many areas, I can't clone myself. So we need to maximize the impact. One way of doing this, internal influencing, and the other way is seeking for storytelling opportunities. I will start with the story, migration project, which we are still on. So Volt merchant app was iOS tablet only. It was for large screens. And then we needed to come up with a solution for pickings. So you have your mobile phone, you pick from shelves. And at some point, the iOS only app didn't work because hyper growth requires flexible solutions. We can't tell every country you need to get iPad for just approving an order. That's why they needed an Android solution, and we come up with a Flutter, this other app, and they merged. So this is still migration process going on. So there was a need. There was a need because it was first, the Flutter app was there with new responsive design. We needed to find a solution. The first attempt was this small library. It's not very known, but I really like it because we had one small screen. This is material design responsive layout grid. So we had the Flutter implementation of it. It's not much known, but it does the job well. Out of that, we had 2 blog posts. And then there was another need. So like these model things, because we are using a lot of models in our app. They are multi-page, and they need to work in large screen, and you can't show bottom sheet in large screen. So we needed, we have mobile first design. Everything is designed for mobile, but it needs to scale now to different screens. And the result is Volt model sheet package. This is going very well. I'm very happy doing this. We are getting good attention from the community. And it helps us to beta test our solutions in wild. We have 19 contributors. Some of them are here. Can you, yeah. Wow, good, yes. And we have 1 blog post, 1 podcast. We were interviewed by Flying High with Flutter. And then I had 2 conference talks out of this package. And 1 online conference. That means like we need to use every opportunity to promote our craft excellence. So like as I said, 1 day a week is like snowball effect from 1 need to huge impact. And around 11 hours ago, we released Volt Model Sheet 0.07.0. We have now more customization. We got this through the feedback because we sold our solutions, but we realized that other people, we can be more helpful. And based on the feedback, we found solutions that will be useful for other people as well. So we are adding side sheets, alert dialog, and we are allowing full customization of the model types. And this is based on the Volt Alchemy design system. And some suggestions, mic here, material mic, the best package over there, flex color scheme, we have Taha. So we learn from them. And we want to make the experience similar to Flutter SDK. We don't rush, we don't bring the feature fast, we see the demand, we want to see the issues, what the problems we can solve. We also need to work with the company needs. We're responding to issues, but we need to balance. First, the company needs, because I'm using my working times to work on this. And we connect, ask for contributions, make them feel accomplished. We have contributors who feel very happy to contribute. And we follow up the impact so that we can prove the value to the company. How they are useful, you can see like this. I didn't know Volt Flutter uses Flutter. And we show the blog post. Then wait, is this built with Flutter Volt app? Everyone thinks so, and they get disappointed. But it is the merchant app, it's also the tier 0. So really good stuff, feedback. And last year we were selected the best packages of 2023. Closing very soon. But important thing here, all the efforts pays off. We have 18% more candidates, passive candidates, meaning that they are not actively looking for a job, but they still respond us. They say that we really like your efforts, thank you for contributing to the community, and I feel really good when I hear this from our talent acquisition team. And last one, internal community building. So this is like creating a place for people that are psychologically safety, and they can say that, hey, I have this idea, I want to contribute. Open the space, ensures that people stay up to date. We support people answering their questions, and we facilitate the competence-related meetings, and we onboard new people coming. So I want to show last thing. This is really the last. Imagine like this, you are in a team, there are developers, like 9 developers and competence lead, and there are senior developers, mid developers, they all want to bring the solutions. Some wants to use provider, some wants to use Riverpod, blog. No, we don't see Getix, but anyway, so then the competence lead and the staff engineer should take us to the right direction. So there are many ideas, but we need to make sure that the right decisions are taken, the best practices are in place, and we move on the correct direction with the vision. I said this was last, but this is really the last. So the North Star, I said like here, we have this direction, and these are North Star. What does this mean? These are the questions that we ask, and everyone in the team need to have the same answers to these questions. So you ask someone, the junior, which local storage we are using, he needs to know. How do we use feature flags? He needs to know. And what is our plan with WebView with Flutter? We need to talk about those things. They need to be visible. What are our tracking tools? And yes, it is really the last one. So we are looking for a Flutter engineer, but actually a software engineer. And in Stockholm and Helsinki, unfortunately. Yeah, you can check it. Okay, this is really the last one. Thank you.